Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braj Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braj Janaranjana. Jamunati Ravana Chari. Jamunati Ravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Yashoda Nandana Braj Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braj Janaranjana. Jamunati Ravana Chari. Jamunati Ravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Parivraj Kacharya Stotara Satya's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. BBT Founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Brahm Sagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jai Nitai Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Nitai Gauda Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Krishna Prastaya Bhule Shrimati Radharana Swami. Shrimati Krishna Prastaya Bhule Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami. Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devanamani Pachanini Visheshashani. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so much for being present here for the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita class this morning. And also I would like to express my deep gratitude and appreciation to the devotees for continuing to invite me and allow me to be here in the presence of the beautiful darshan of Shri Shri Radha Govinda and Shri Shri Gaura Nitai and Srila Prabhupada, Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Devi. So I would like to first, before I begin, seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas that you see fit to bestow your mercy upon me, so that I can speak something relevant and bona fide from the pages of this most exalted scripture, the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Srila Prabhupada. Only by the mercy of Vaishnavas is anything possible, so I am therefore seeking your blessings. Hare Krishna. So we have a few verses to read today, all of which are extremely ecstatic. And we'll start with text 146 and go to 153. And before we begin, we can chant the invocation. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. So starting with Adi Leela 4, text 146. So we'll repeat text 53 together. Aparikalita purvakas katmakarakari spurati mamagaryani samaruya pura ayamaham api hanta prakshayam lubda cheta sarabasam upabhoktam kamaye radikeva. Translation. Who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before and which causes wonder to all. Alas, I myself, my mind bewildered upon seeing this beauty, impetuously desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radharani. Purport. This text is from the Lalita Madhava 834 of Srila Rupa Goswami. It was spoken by Lord Krishna when he saw the beauty of his own reflection in a jeweled fountain in Dwarka. Text 147. Krishna Madhoyera Eka Swabhavika Bala Krishna Adi Nara Nadi Karaye Chanchala. The beauty of Krishna has one natural strength. It thrills the hearts of all men and women, beginning with Lord Krishna himself. Shravane darshane akarshe sarvaman Shravane darshane akarshe sarvaman apana ashwadite Krishna karinayatan. All minds are attracted by hearing his sweet voice and flute, or by seeing his beauty. Even Lord Krishna himself makes efforts to taste that sweetness. 149. E madhuyamrita pana sadaye kare Trishna shanti nae Trishna bade narantare. The thirst of one who always drinks the nectar of that sweetness is never satisfied. Rather, that thirst increases constantly. Text 150. Atripta haya kare vidira nindana avidaga vidibala najane srijana. Such a person, being unsatisfied, begins to blaspheme Lord Brahma, saying that he does not know the art of creating well, and is simply inexperienced. Text 151. Koti netra nahi dila sabe dila dwi tahate nimesha Krishna ki dekiba muni. Translation. He has not given millions of eyes to see the beauty of Krishna. He has given only 2 eyes, and even those eyes blink. How then shall I see the lovely face of Krishna? Such beautiful verses. Text 152. Tatiya bhavan ani, Tatiya bhavanani kananam chutir yugayate tvam apsayatam kutila kuntalam srimukam chate jada udikshatam pakshma kridrisham. Translation. The gopi said, O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curling hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us, and we consider the Creator, who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you, to be simply a fool. Purport. This verse is spoken by the gopis in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:31-15. Text 153, and this is the final verse. We can repeat this together. Gopyascha Krishna upalabhya chirarabhishtam Yat prekshane drishushu pakshma kritam shapna shapanti. Drigbiridi kritamalam pari abhyasarvas. Tad bhavamapurapi nitya yujam durapam. Someone else would like to try? Gopyascha Krishnam apalabhya chiradi bhishtam. Yat prekshane drishu paksha kritam shapanti. Drigbiridi kritamalam parirabhya sarvas. Tad bhavam api nitya yujam durapam. Yes, Krishna. Kritim shapanti. Drigbiridi kritamalam parirabhya sarvas. Tad bhavamapurapi nitya yujam durapam. Gopyascha Krishna mupalabhya chirade bhishtam. Yat prekshane drishishu chaksham samhandi. Mirhidi kritamalam pariyabhya sarvas. Tad bhavamapurapi nitya yujam durapam. Ladies. Gopyaschiram apalabhya chirada bhishtam. Yat prekshane drishishu pakshma givanti vanti. Drigbiridi kirtamalam pariyabhya sarvas. Tad bhavamapurapi nitya yujam durapam. Gopyascha Krishna mupalabhya chirade bhishtam. Yat prekshane drishishu pakshma kritam shapanti. Drigbiridi kritamalam pariyabhya sarvas. Tad bhavamapurapi nitya yujam durapam. Word for word. Gopya, the gopis. Cha, and. Krishnam, Lord Krishna. Upalabhya, seeing. Chirad, after a long time. Abhishtam, desired object. Yat prekshane, in the seeing of whom. Drishishu, in the eyes. Pakshmakritam, the maker of eyelashes. Shapanti, curse. Drigbihi, with the eyes. Riddhikritam, who entered the hearts. Alam, enough. Parirabhya, embracing. Sarvaha, all. Tatbhavam, the highest stage of joy. Apuhu, obtained. Api, although. Nityayujam, by perfected yogis. Durapam, difficult to obtain. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The gopis saw their beloved Krishna at Kurukshetra after a long separation. They secured and embraced him in their hearts through their eyes, and they attained a joy so intense that not even perfect yogis can attain it. The gopis cursed the Creator for creating eyelids that interfered with their vision. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:82-39. So I will also read that purport, which is here by the disciples of His Divine Grace. Shukadev Goswami said, yes, we read the translation purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, just then Lord Balaram saw the gopis standing a short distance away. Seeing them trembling with eagerness to meet Krishna and apparently ready to give up their lives if they could not, he tactfully decided to get up and involve himself elsewhere. Then the gopis attained the state described in the current verse. In referring to the gopis' intolerant disrespect of Lord Brahma, the creator of eyelids, Shukadev Goswami is giving vent to his own subtle jealousy of the gopis' favored position. Interesting. Srila Jiva Goswami offers an alternate understanding of the phrase Nitya Yujam, which may mean even of the Lord's principal queens who tend to be proud of their constant association with Him. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada writes, because they had been separated from Krishna for so many years, the gopis, having come along with Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, felt intense ecstasy in seeing Krishna. No one can even imagine how anxious the gopis were to see Krishna again. As soon as Krishna became visible to them, they took him inside their hearts, through their eyes, and embraced him to their full satisfaction. Even though they were embracing Krishna only mentally, they became so ecstatic and overwhelmed with joy that for the time being they completely forgot themselves. The ecstatic trance which they achieved simply by mentally embracing Krishna is impossible to achieve even for the great yogis constantly engaged in meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna could understand that the gopis were wrapped in ecstasy by embracing him in their minds, and therefore, since he is present in everyone's heart, he also reciprocated the embracing from within. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jnana Tasmai Shri Guru Ve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jnana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Brisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. So, wanted to start by commenting a bit on this verse and purport here. So we see here that the gopis are so ecstatic to see Krishna at Kurukshetra after a very, very long separation. And they are drinking the vision of the Lord in with their eyes. So this darshan, of course, when we come before the Lord to be seen by the Lord. And this is the darshan, but also this is the perfection of our eyes to be able to look upon the Lord and see the Lord so beautifully decorated. So many prayers come by gazing upon the Lord's moon-like face and his eyebrows, which are like bows that shoot arrows into our heart, and his bimba lips, and his broad chest, and his handsome form, his tribhanga form, threefold bending form. And so like this, the perfection of the ability to have eyes is to allow them to gaze upon the Lord and allow that vision of the Lord to seep within the heart through the eyes. So the gopis here, they are experiencing this extremely deeply because they've been in separation from the Lord for so long. So for us, at least for me, even understanding this is so far from tangible. We can understand, Srila Prabhupada would often give the example of maybe a husband and a wife who are separated for some time, and then they're longing to see each other, and again they come together and they unite. And this is the ecstasy of the loving reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees, moving between Sambhog and Vipralamba through this union and separation. And of course we know that the highest isn't Sambhog, it's not union. The highest is actually the mood of separation. And here we have on the altar Lord Jagannath, representing Lord Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra Devi, all three representing the mood of separation. So it's interesting, and of course, serving in London for many years, there was often some debate between devotees that which darshan was actually the highest darshan, the darshan of Radha and Krishna, Radha Landanishwara, or the darshan of Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra, because Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadra are personifying the mood of separation. This is Krishna in separation from Srimati Radharani. And on the other altar you have Radha and Krishna lovingly standing together in union. And of course the debate goes on. but nevertheless, the point is these are the representations. And here you have also both of these amazing and beautiful darshans. And of course, Lord Chaitanya himself exhibiting the mood of separation and extolling the glories of the mood of separation, being Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, longing for Krishna. Whereas Jagannath is Krishna in the mood of Krishna, longing for Srimati Radharani. And of course, there in the Rath Yatra festival, this ecstatic scene which is created where both of them are longing and experiencing deep pleasure because they're witnessing and seeing each other again. And of course, Rath Yatra festival is also compared to that time at Kurukshetra, where this meeting happened again between the gopis and Krishna. But here we see that the gopis, they are exhibiting so much ecstasy that they begin to curse the Creator, curse Lord Brahma, saying that you are inadequate. You are an inadequate creator. Of course, imagine, we might extol the glories of someone like Henry Ford or Leonardo da Vinci or some great creator or inventor in this world. But Lord Brahma created the entire universe, put the entire universe together, engineered everything. And these are simple little cowherd girls who are saying, basically, you are inadequate because you gave us eyelids. Because you put eyelids on us, so that when we look at Krishna, at some point we have to blink. Like, I'm not sure how many of us, when we go to the altar and take darshan, we're like holding our eyes open, just allowing the vision of the Lord to seep into our eyes. Probably, if you're anything like me, when you're at darshan at like 7:30 in the morning, your eyes are kind of like half open, half closed, Govindam, like a lullaby. Haripursha, trying to keep your eyes open, with the speak of prying them open. But the gopis are cursing Lord Brahma. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I thought in the purport here, which is why I read it, that we have three different, in one sense you could say, three different purports in one purport. We have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who's basically explaining the scene. And then he says that the gopis cursing Lord Brahma for creating eyelids is actually Shukadev Goswami giving vent to his own subtle jealousy of the gopis' favored position. Which is interesting. I thought, wow, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And of course, if we hear the word jealousy or envy used amongst exalted devotees, we would usually think they're not actually very exalted, because we often understand that envy is the reason why we are here, why we're in the material world. And there's one letter Srila Prabhupada wrote to Atreya Rishi where he explains that actually there is envy even in the spiritual world. He says, because sometimes one gopi will look at another gopi and see that she is performing some service better. And she'll be like, oh, she did that service better for Krishna. And then their desire will be, let me also increase my desire to serve Krishna in the same way, even better than that other gopi. And so Krishna explains that the envy in the spiritual world, or the jealousy in the spiritual world, is not tinged by a material desire to be the best or be better, but to please Krishna better, to be inspired to serve someone else. And in the same way, of course, we're in the month of December, the month of book distribution, and we know Srila Prabhupada encouraged very much transcendental competition, encouraging devotees to compete with one another, but not necessarily to be the best, but to please Krishna more, to please him more, to distribute more and more books so that Krishna will be pleased, so that the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be extolled throughout the world. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada would say, oh, I think this party is doing much better. And if they actually win, then I think in one place he says, Tamal Krishna will have a heart attack or something like that. So it's like, so Prabhupada is like, we use this term in England, he's a wind-up merchant, you know. He just likes to wind people. It's like, you know, and he will say something to one, and he was really playing them off of each other, knowing their position, knowing their status, to increase their desire to serve, increase their desire to please Krishna. In the same mood, you could say that Krishna, even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, was winding Arjuna up. He was saying, you know, you're basically just a fool. You're like a fool. You're espousing what you call to be knowledge, but you don't know anything. You haven't understood. And then he starts saying, you should basically kind of get fired up to go out there and fight. So Krishna is using any method that he can to get someone to become engaged in service. And thus the statement, Srila Prabhupada said, by hook or by crook. Now this statement is also taken very much out of context. So devotees think, let me be a crook for Krishna. But that's not the idea. By hook or by crook means by any means necessary, let us engage people in the service of the Lord. And then you have a statement by Srila Jiva Goswami where he offers an alternate understanding. Wait a minute. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami are having differing positions on this verse? I mean, is that possible that two exalted sadhus could see things differently? Well, we know that that's possible for sure. But can they both be correct at the same time? Well, absolutely. Because they can both see things. We can see something from a different side. If I hold up this computer and I say to you, I don't see an apple anywhere, what will you say? There's no apple. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. And then we can argue. We can go to war. We can kill each other. And then I turn the computer around and I say, oh my goodness, there was an apple. Sorry, I killed that person because they had a different perspective. And sometimes it's like that. Actually, people take their perspectives to such extremes that they're willing to kill without ever being able to accept. That's why Srila Prabhupada said the devotees should come to Mayapur every year and they should discuss unity in diversity. So we should also accept that we can have differing perspectives. So Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, both explaining different points of perspective and points of view. And then Srila Prabhupada giving his beautifully written, elaborate explanation of this purport. So, I have a few more things. Does anyone have any comments or questions so far? Any reflections, any additions, subtractions, corrections, chastisements? Anything? No one? Okay. All right, so let me see. I have so this, so let's see if we can see this properly. Okay. Yes, so we see that there are different reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, which is being discussed here. There are 3 external reasons and 3 internal reasons for the appearance of the Lord. The externals we kind of get pretty easily. The internals are a little bit hard to decipher even in the verses and in the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita. In general, we accept that Krishna comes as Lord Chaitanya specifically to taste Srimati Radharani's love for him. And we see that there are verses that explain this. To accept the ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and reestablished the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So, come on, let's get together. Everyone listen. Listen, this is the reason why Lord Chaitanya came, to reestablish the system of religion for the age. The primary, internal, confidential reason is that he wanted to accept the ecstatic love that Srimati Radharani was feeling for him. And continued, that Sri Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object. So Krishna speaking here. I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled, but the pleasure of Radha, the abode of that love, is 10 million times greater. So Krishna is saying here that the way that Srimati Radharani feels for me, I get that because she's exhibiting that love towards me, the only object of that love, and I feel immense bliss. But I want to know what she's feeling, because what she's feeling is 10 million times greater. And he continues and says that my mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, but I cannot taste it, even by my best efforts. How may I taste it? So Krishna is desirous to taste this. And he says, if sometime I can be the abode of that love, only then may I taste its joy. So if I can become Srimati Radharani, then maybe I can experience it. And it continues and it says, thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was curious to taste that love. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. So we know that there was a conversation, and we think, okay, so Krishna is going to become Radharani? I mean, that's kind of extremely esoteric. How does that work? And we know once a devotee said, Prabhupada, I think, devotees asked Prabhupada, can Krishna make a hill that he can't lift? And Prabhupada said, yes. And then he said, and then he will lift it. So he can create something that he can't do, and then he can also do it at the same time. And then we come to the verses today, and we see that these verses are being spoken by Krishna as he's cleaning the marble or residing on the marble. Maybe Krishna's not cleaning it exactly. He doesn't need to clean the marble. But Krishna is gazing into the marble floors in Dwarka, and he's thinking something that maybe even we think first thing in the morning while we're brushing our teeth, gazing into the mirror. Aren't I so special? Just look at me, God's gift to the material world. Here I am. But Krishna, the difference between Krishna and us is that he is the gift to the material world, and we're just simply a very dim reflection. But the soul's shining through, thinking similarly, but Krishna is thinking, wow, how magnificent I am. how charming I am. What beauty is there. And then he begins to think, God, this is why Srimati Radharani is so attracted. What she must be feeling. Even I become enamored by my own self. What must Srimati Radharani be experiencing? Of course, we have to remember Krishna, the word Krishna as translated by Srila Prabhupada, means the all attractive. He is all attractive. Everyone is attractive. And in the Gita, he gives so many different ways that he is attractive, even declaring that of fishes, he is the shark. Every way that you can be attracted to something, Krishna is that. Rasoham apsakunteya. I am the taste of water. I am the light of the sun and the moon. He is everything grand and great in this world that might attract us. Even the shark, which is ferocious, but it's probably one of the most popular episodes on any, animal television station. Oh, it's Shark Week or something like that. And people love, but Krishna is that being that strikes fear into the hearts of so many. So Krishna says, seeing his own beauty, Lord Krishna began to consider, my sweetness is wonderful, infinite and full. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. Only Radhika, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. Only Srimati Radharani. There is constant competition between my sweetness and the mirror of Radha's love. They both go on and on and on, increasing, but neither knows defeat. I mean, these are so poetic. You think every single love song ever written is coming from this relationship between Radha and Krishna. My sweetness is always newer and newer. Devotees taste it according to their own respective love. So now Lord Krishna brings in the devotees. He brings us into the picture and helps us to understand that his sweetness is ever fresh. So as soon as we think, we have to remember that's nothing to do with Krishna. At every moment, Krishna is fresh. And especially during book distribution, my experience is that one day you'll go out and you'll distribute books and you'll be like, yeah, I got it. I got the line, I got the method, I got the approach. And the next day you go out to try the same thing again and Krishna's like, you can't capture me like that. I'm not so stale and boring as you. Krishna is exciting. He is ecstatic. And at every moment he's thinking, how can it be new? How can it be exciting? Try something new. But we're like, no, I just want to do the same thing every time. Why can't it just work for me? But Krishna's like, let's play. Let's play. Let's have fun. Let's explore. Let's be adventurous. And we're like, oh, can I please just go back to bed? Krishna is so exciting. So according to our respective love, Krishna reciprocates. If I see my sweetness in a mirror, I am tempted to taste it. But nevertheless, I cannot. If I deliberate on a way to taste it, I find that I hanker for the position of Radhika, Srimati Radharani, who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before and which causes wonder to all. Alas, I myself, my mind bewildered upon seeing this beauty, impetuously desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radharani. So Krishna wants to experience the love that she has. And he also wants to taste the happiness of her love. And this is a subtle distinction between them. That to experience the love and then to taste the happiness of that love may be two different things. Because Srimati Radharani is not actually concerned about her own happiness. That's why she says that if bringing you happiness, Krishna, causes me pain, then that pain actually becomes my greatest happiness. So it's not the happiness that is actually the driving factor. her own personal happiness. It is the happiness of Krishna, like that. So anyway, there's so many more verses that we have here. I'm not going to go through them because we're short on time. You can see we could be here for hours. Yeah, so like that. So desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So I will finish there and see if anyone has any comments, questions, or reflections. Yes, Ramroy Prabhu.
For the online.
Okay, Lochen Das Thakur. Just bear with me for one moment. So of course we know Lochen Das Thakur. So I will read the short biography here. Lochen Das Thakur was born in 1523. So not long after, how many years would that be after Lord Chaitanya? Yeah, perfect, thank you. In Katwa, a block of Burdwan district, and this village is about 10 miles north of Gushkar train station. The Thakur's home is situated near the Ajay River. His birth tithi is given by some as the first day of the fortnight of the waxing moon in Posh. He was born in Radhya. He was born in the Radhya clan of the physician caste Vaidya. His father's name was Kamalakara Das, his mother's Sadanande. Lochen Das studied at his maternal grandfather's house and displayed devotion for Mahaprabhu from childhood. Lochen Das was married at a very young age, according to the customs of the epoch. His in-laws' household was in the village of Ahmadiyapur Kako. However, though he had entered the married station, he was extremely renounced and spent all his time discussing Krishna Katha with other devotees of Gauranga. Since Lochen Das Thakur was married at an early age, his wife at first remained with her parents, but as the time approached when she was to join him, they began to worry because of Lochen Das's indifference to material life. They approached his guru Narahari Sakar and told him of their disquiet. As a result, Narahari ordered Lochen Das to go to his in-laws' home. When Lochen arrived in the village, he was unable to remember where their house was, since it had been so long since he had visited. He asked a young girl in the street for directions, addressing her as Ma, or mother. And when he arrived at his in-laws' house, he learned that the girl whom he had addressed as his mother was in fact his wife. From that day on, he always looked upon his wife as mother, worshiping Guru and Gauranga in an attitude of renunciation. Narahari Sakar Thakur, Mahaprabhu's famous associate from Srikhand, was very affectionate to Lochen Das and gave him initiation. Lochen Das enthusiastically took up residence with his guru in Srikhand. His guru taught him the art of kirtan and later ordered him to write Mahaprabhu's sacred biography. Lochen Das took this order seriously and wrote the Chaitanya Mangal, the events of which are based on Murari Gupta's Chaitanya Charita. The word Mangal means auspicious, and this title reflects the fact that hearing Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya's divine pastimes, is the most auspicious activity for all living beings. Good thing we did some of that earlier, so we have started our day off properly. Vrindavan Das Thakur's biography of the Lord was named Chaitanya Mangal and was only later known as Chaitanya Bhagavat. Lochan Das gives an indication of this in the introductory portion of his book. Some people believe that Lochan Das and Krishnadas Kaviraj gave the name Chaitanya Bhagavat to Vrindavan Das's book. In the Chaitanya Mangal, Lochan Das prays for his Guru's blessings. Lochan Das. Other titles attributed to Lochan Das are Prarthana, Durlabhasar, Damale, and Bengali verse translation of Ramananda's Jagannath Vallabha Natika and the Rasa Panchadaya. According to Bhakti Ratnakar, Lochan Das was present at Narhari Sakar Thakur's disappearance festival and greeted guests by giving them sandalwood and garlands. Let's see, many songs by... So, absorbed... Yeah, that is it. It doesn't mention his departure here or who he was in the spiritual world. But those are a few things. There are many songs written by Lochan Das Thakur also. Is that okay, Prabhu? Anything you wanted to add? Beautiful. Thank you. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki. Hari Hari Bol. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki. Jai Nitai Go Premanandi. Hari Hari.